been murdered. Other friends have flown before. On the morrow he will leave me, as my hopes have flown before. And the bird said nevermore.
You're listening to the Call Podcast with Brandon and Josh.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to a brand new edition of The Call. It is a Baltimore Ravens podcast where we talk anything and everything Baltimore Ravens football. Thank you all for listening to us on all of your favorite podcast platforms, especially Overcast. And we are proud members of the Fans First Sports Network. What is going on, everybody? How's it going? The preseason is officially over. We are heading off to real football, the regular season.
It's over.
Over. We're done with it. We're moving on. We're looking on to Buffalo now. But before that, we got some stuff we got to clear up. So joining me, as always, to talk all about it, my buddy Josh. What's going on, man? How you doing?
Hey, I'm just as excited as anybody. The NFL season is here. Preseason's over. And we're recording here a week away from the opener of the NFL. Eagles, Cowboys, and just literally days away from Ravens, Bills, week one. All eyes are on week one. The roster is set. We got some money being handed out on the team as well. And no more preseason, no more what ifs about the roster. It's all here, man. We're ready to go for 2025.
Yeah, of course, we're going to talk about the roster, but let's talk about the big multi-million-dollar man that was just re-signed. Kyle Hamilton got an extension, 4 years, $100 million. I think it's $82 million guaranteed. I mean, absolutely bananas, but he's the highest paid safety in the league right now. But Kyle Hamilton absolutely earned this contract. I'm happy to see that he'll be a Raven for the next 4 years, and he wasn't even due. Like, that's the crazy thing. It's a 4-year extension, but he wasn't even due. It wasn't like a contract year for him. So to see this news come out before the season and to see such a talented player get that amount of money is fantastic to see. Josh, what are your thoughts on the extension of Kyle Hamilton?
Dude, ecstatic. Right, it wasn't even due. It was a surprise. The Ravens just know how to take care of their own. And they recognize talent when they see it. They know a playmaker, and they know a big piece in the puzzle when they see as well. And you couldn't let Kyle walk. Happy as a Raven extended for another 4 years, and it's huge for the defense, huge for the secondary, huge for the team. You know, Kyle, he's great personality. You know, apparently, hear a lot of great feedback from the be around, etc. Even in the media, and as well as on the field. Dude, all pro by all stretch of the means. They didn't get a chance to pull it out, but I have a Kyle Hamilton helmet behind me. Goes without saying, rightfully so. He's one of the marquee stars of the team. Dude, when you saw that news, you're just like, yes, let's go. And, again, the Ravens just know, and Eric DeCosta in the front office, they know how to get business done with these type of players. And it just shows you the culture of the Ravens, the culture of this team, and the culture of what the front office is about, and being first class, and doing things the right way. They do everything, the way they should, and just keeping the nucleus of the team around. And, a lot of players come and go here, but, at the end of the day, they give the money rightfully to the players who've earned it. Think about, the contract extensions or contract offers in years past in recent history, right? They signed Madubuike, re-signed again Bateman to another deal. They've been taking care of their now. Here's Hamilton, and obviously they're working on Lamar once again. So, is what I keep hearing is the need. So it goes without saying, I'm really happy Kyle Hamilton is a Raven, and he's not playing elsewhere, especially in the AFC for the foreseeable future. And it's going to be huge for playmaking ability for sure for the defense.
Absolutely. He is one of the headliners, if you will, of the defense. You know, you think of this defense, especially now moving forward, you're going to be thinking about Kyle Hamilton. He's an absolutely fantastic player. He's a great Raven. He's homegrown talent, if you will, drafted by the Ravens. So I'm absolutely ecstatic to hear and see that Kyle Hamilton will be here the next 4 years. So
You know, one of my favorite plays from his is
what's that?
two memories stand out. The unfortunately, this was a loss for the Ravens, so I hate to bring this up, but I'll never forget the hot start the Ravens had against the Browns a couple years ago, and the Browns were on possession first. The Ravens were on defense. And Kyle Hamilton had that batted ball pick six to start the game, like right out of the gate. That was phenomenal. Like you just knew there you had a transcendent player of his caliber, and you knew something special in Kyle, and you just knew it from his rookie season coming in. Man, very happy about it. Couldn't be more pleased with it.
Yeah, absolutely. So, congratulations, Kyle Hamilton. If you don't have a Ravens jersey yet, this might be the guy to pick up. Number 14, Kyle Hamilton. And before we get into the roster and everything, the guys that made it to the practice squad and everything, since we're talking about jerseys, let's talk a little bit about the jerseys. The Ravens have released that the Darkness Falls and the Purple Rising jerseys will be worn against Detroit on Monday night in September, and then Thanksgiving night up against the Cincinnati Bengals will be the Purple Rising jerseys, uniforms. And I love those two sets. The blackout is my absolute favorite. I love the Darkness Falls motif, if you will, especially it's a great for an under the lights game, showing off Baltimore on Monday night on ESPN against Detroit in the all-black uniforms. I love those. The Purple Rising made their debut last year, and up against the Cincinnati Bengals will be so much fun to see and look so great on Thanksgiving night. But I don't know which one's my favorite. I mean, both of them look fantastic, but those are going to be the two times that you get to see specialty jerseys on the field. Josh, what do you think, man? What's your favorite? Do you like the Darkness Falls? Do you like the Purple Rising? I love them both, and I mean, the crowds love them. It feels like whenever the Ravens wear these specialty uniforms, the crowd is just a little bit more intense.
Yeah, and rightfully so, man. The excitement, in these kind of alternate uniform combinations is always fun to see on the field, and always fun for not only the players, because the players absolutely love them, but the fans as well. My favorite is obviously, and never changed, probably the all black. Darkness Falls, and when they started doing that kind of promotional scheme with the jerseys and all that, and Darkness Falls with darkness there and nothing more, it just fits. I mean, and I'm surprised they didn't do this years ago with that. I know years ago they did, and remember Ray Lewis was on the poster, they did advertise it was pitch black, kind of deal. And there was a poster out there, Ray in the pitch black with the purple uniform, or not purple, the black uniforms, all blacks. The all blacks have been a favorite of mine, and they always will be. I'm also a favorite of the black jersey, white pants kind of combo. I've always said that this should be their home. The purple should be the alternate, but I stand in the minority on that, I'm sure. Everybody's got their opinion and different tastes. And the Ravens, they have a lot of color combinations with their uniforms. You can go any which way, and it's just one of the best uniforms, if not the best uniform in football. With that being said, the Purple Rising is always awesome with the alternate decal on the side with the Raven, the front-facing Raven. It's always great, and the purple lettering and numbers, and or not, I should say the gold lettering and numbers with the purple uniforms. And I think this is the third straight year that the Ravens and Bengals tussle on Thursday Night Football at the bank, and I think this is the third straight year that they're wearing all purples for that belt. So I think the one year it was all black. I can't remember if it was for one of the Bengals games, but if anybody, that they did it last year for Ravens Bengals, they're doing it again this year, running it back. I love the fact that the other night game at home on Monday Night Football, they're doing with the all black theme against the Lions. Obviously, the Lions will probably be in all white, which will be appropriate. I love it, man. I'm a fan of both uniform combinations, but obviously the darkness falls in the black. My personal favorite, every Ravens jersey I've ever owned has pretty much been black. I have a couple white ones, but it's always been a black one. Just fell in love with it. Just love the black look.
Now, I got to say, for the rest of the NFL, I'm a little jealous because the NFL and Nike have released the Rivalry, the City Connect jerseys that they're releasing and the uniforms for this year. And I'm so jealous that we have to wait, I think, until 2027 to see our combination, because Nike hit it out of the park. I absolutely love every single one of these jerseys. I think these are such a unique look, but I think my favorite is probably New England, followed by Buffalo. And these City Connects are a great idea. They're so unique. I know I'm going to buy one once the Ravens get theirs, but I'm so jealous that these other teams get them before us because they're sweet. I love them. I mean, the navy blue that the Patriots are going to be wearing, and then just the white, the white out, the blizzard condition combination that Buffalo's going to have with that awesome looking logo on the sleeve is so cool. I absolutely love it. I can't wait to see what happens to the Ravens in 2027.
I can't wait either on what their concept is. And again, Brandon touched on it. It's the NFC West and AFC East teams that were unveiled this year. My top three, and I'll reveal my top three. I mean, they're all great. Love the Dolphins one. That color
That's a good one.
combination with the black and the teal. The Seahawks is number two. With like it looks like that like design around the shoulder pads a little bit. But my number one favorite is by far the Jets. I mean, when you come out with a Gotham City football uniform theme, you had me a Gotham Batman theme. But that dark green with those like matte black helmets, it looks mean.
Yeah.
I love that. Just love it. The Jets are my favorite right now for those new rivalry series, and can't wait to see what the rest of the league looks like, especially our own Baltimore Ravens. It's going to be fun.
And I got to tell you, just regular jerseys, if I'm not talking about the Baltimore Ravens jerseys, the black New York Jets jerseys that they wear, normally have the last couple of years, I think that might be my favorite jersey that's not a Ravens jersey in the NFL right now.
Think so?
So the Jets, the Jets really, with that black one, is just something sleek about it that I really like. And they didn't miss with the City Connect jersey that they're going to get to wear this year either. But that black Jets jersey, if I was not a Ravens fan, that one I'd be like, I'd wear that jersey. That's a pretty cool one.
If my friend, I hear it is a cool jersey. Unfortunately, they will not wear it for the home game that they play, where the Ravens play here against the Jets at home. So I don't think the Jets will wear all black for that game. So sorry to disappoint you, Brandon. I tell you what, from my friends who probably listen to the podcast, and Chris and Dave and Wood, we have this weird thing. And I'll have to introduce it to you, but for some reason, and I don't know why, and I've always said I love the way we love this stupid chant, but we do a Jets chant for some reason in our Ravens group chat, and I can't remember or figure out why. But the Jets, it's just so fun I don't know why. Like we'll be randomly just in the group chat, someone will put a J, and then we just go down the list, and I'm like, why is that chant so fun? And I was like, and we always joke, I said, we'd be good Jets fans. And I was like, why? And then one guy was like, why is this? This is a Ravens chat. What you got? But it's just one of those random things. It's like, I don't know why we loved it. So when we went up to the game against the Jets, a few years back when they opened on September 11th, and when it was Ravens were playing Flacco at the time, and again, when he was on the Jets, that game, the opener there, and we were confusing fans because we were literally in the tunnels of the stadium as Ravens fans chanting the Jets chant. It was hilarious. Yeah, so Jets chants are always fun to do, and hey, Ravens is too for when they score a touchdown. But it's just so simple. You count out 4 letters and say it's just, I don't know. I think it's fun, and it's fun to troll Jets fans, and we're licking our chops for the Jets home game because I was like, you know how many times we're going to do that chant all day long. It's like a little mockery, but it's also fun in that regard. So, I can't wait to see what the Ravens look like, and but yeah. Yeah, we got our Darkness Falls on Purple Rising date set, and can't wait to see. And I was actually down at Camden Yards watching the Orioles this week, and saw some of the renovations. They're still in progress. So again, being a month away, or less than a month away from the home opener, I don't know what the progress is. Obviously, the outside plaza where the statues are, where the Ravens walk, leads right into the stadium. I don't know if those two things are going to be done in time, because I mean they have a lot of work to be done. I don't know what point in the phase that'll be done before the end of the year or not, but it looks it's going to be looking pretty cool. And I've seen some of the updates and progress in the stadium already. So I know I was in there for the one preseason game and saw that they added field level seats behind the further end zone across the tunnels because I sit above the tunnels, and there's that end zone seating again. So they're also doing end zone, that field level seating, and they got the advertisement banner LED lights up there. So there's some new things in M&T to look out for this year. So, and I tell you what, Brandon, and I've been telling opposing fans this, and I've heard even their feedback, even our own fans. Look, there's nothing like being at Ravens games, but I'm telling you what, there is nothing like a night game at M&T. I mean, I'm getting chills right. Nothing like a night game. Like you talk about when you said like the fan level just like gets crazier for some reason with these jerseys. I think it's because of the night element, because these night games are ridiculous with the intros and the fireworks and the spotlight and the LED bracelet. Like it's a whole nother level. Like I've always said, like if you want to go to your first ever Ravens game, pick a night one because you'll never look back. It's insane.
Yeah, I'm lucky enough to be able to go to the Detroit Ravens game on
Awesome,
Monday
so
night
you'll be
coming
there.
up.
Okay, great.
So I will be there for that one. It's been a while. It's been a couple years. I went to a Sunday night game against the Bengals. Man, what was that? 22 maybe?
It was a good like few years ago. Yeah.
Yeah. So I get to go to the blackout game in September. I'm really excited about that. So I'm super excited to see what happens. But we still got a little bit of time before that rolls around. But let's talk about this Ravens roster. The official cut down happened on Tuesday. I don't know about you, Josh, but I wasn't really surprised by any of the cuts. I think maybe Jalen Armour-Davis not making the team, not making the 53 was my biggest shock. But overall, I think this was a pretty, I mean, still a lot of players did make it difficult. Don't get me wrong. There were a lot of undrafted guys that did make this team that I'm sure made it very difficult for this coaching staff to pick who was making the team and who wasn't. But overall, not too shocked about this final 53.
Not at all. And obviously Jalen Armour-Davis already got picked up. I think the Browns got him, if I can remember. I saw it briefly online, so forgive me if it seemed wrong, but I already saw he got claimed. That's all I know.
Yeah, there's actually been a bunch of players that were already claimed. So Jalen Armour-Davis was claimed.
Was it
Bo Braid,
was it the
Jordan
Browns?
Jefferson? It says the teams that showed interest in him were the Titans, the Saints, the Dolphins, and the Eagles. That's
Okay, I
from
might have
Field
been way
Yates on
wrong.
X. So I think he ended up with the Titans. But we have Jalen Armour-Davis, Bo Braid, Jordan Jefferson, Cam Jones, Jalen Jones, and Sam Womack. So all of those players have been claimed off waivers. They will not be a part of the Ravens organization on the practice squad or anything. They're going off to greener pastures, if you will. So those are the guys that were claimed, but overall, not that shocking of a cut down.
No, not at all. Some notables here. I will tell you this. It's nice to see Rasheen Ali make the team.
That's right. Yep.
Yeah, right now they're going to employ. I mean, Ricard's listed under the running backs right now. They have 5 on the depth chart, but technically Ricard's a fullback specialist there. But if you take Ricard out of the mix as a fullback, they have 4 running backs. They're going with Henry, Justice Hill, Keaton Mitchell, and Rasheen Ali, and obviously Patrick Ricard in the fullback position. Couldn't really be more pleased with that lineup in the running back position. Obviously, the Ravens are going to go with Cooper Rush as a backup. Apparently, they're going to add Tyler Huntley back to the team on the practice squad. So
That's right.
Plus, good to see Snoop back in the Ravens uniform. Offensive line, I want to focus on because I told you, apart from the starters, depth was a question. But guess who made the team? Mr.
Who's that?
Cleveland.
Big Country still on this team.
He is still on the team. So the offensive line is obviously Ty Linderbaum. We have Roger Rosengarten, Vincent made the team, obviously Falele and Ryan Stanley. But again, we have Newt Boom and Bullock, Corey Bullock and Joe Newboom. So they certainly fill it out there. And your boy, Jason, not Jason, but Andrew Voorhees.
Andrew Voorhees. He's going to be a starter.
Yes, he is. So he made the team. Tell you what, you can't be mad at the defensive backs. They're stacked.
That's true. That's
Love
true.
to see I love that they retained TJ Tampa. Really happy about that.
He really
and then, Kean Martin.
training camp, TJ Tampa really showed himself to be very valuable to this team.
He sure did, and not only that, but Cam Martin did in the preseason. So yeah, and if you remember, Cam Martin had if I remember correctly, I think it was the safety against the Cowboys, if I'm not mistaken. Cam Martin got in the mix there. Again, the linebackers are stout. Obviously, you see, the nucleus of the team right there in the defense. Mike Green's there. Van Oyojabo, Tavares Robinson there. Jake Hummel made the teams. Trent Simpson's going to be a force. Yeah, it's going to be awesome. And, moving over back to the offense side of the football, preseason standout, LeJontay Wester made the team. So good to see him. I told you, he made that big splash on that return. And I was like, we got our guy.
Yep.
Wester made the team.
Now, it's kind of crazy with the amount of draft picks that the Ravens had this past year. In April, it was 11 draft picks. 3 guys that were undrafted made this 53-man roster. Even with that amount of draft picks, 11, 3 guys undrafted made it. Are you surprised by that?
No, you can't really be, because the talent. The Ravens know how to evaluate talent, and when they see it, they harness it, and it's really good to see those guys coming back. I think one of them was Jay Higgins that made the squad. Really good to see the Ravens, doing right by these guys. And when you guys, when I want to say you guys, when these guys show the talent in the field and make the plays, Ravens are noticing. And you don't have to be drafted. You just got to just take advantage of the opportunities in front of you. And these 3 young men are going to have a great career here. If it isn't with the long term with the Ravens, they're going to have a career somewhere else in the NFL. And what better way to start than with us? And it's great to see these guys back on the team. I was actually racking the internet to find out who the other 2 were. I know Higgins was one of them because he was one of the guys I was looking as a standout. But really happy to see Eric DeCosta take care of these guys and give them a spot on the squad. Very excited.
Now, another guy that is on this squad, Isaiah Likely, if you notice that, he is on the 53-man roster. That doesn't guarantee we're going to see him week 1, but I think it's a good sign given the fact that he is on this initial 53-man roster. They did not want to place him on IR because that meant that he would miss the first 4 weeks of the season. So while we might not see him week 1, he's at least close enough to a return that him missing the first month of the season doesn't look likely.
Pun intended. Yeah, and we knew that going in, right? There was a hope that he could be ready for week 1. The Ravens' plans in the beginning were not to put him on any PUP list or any of that 4-week or 6-week designation. So I'm certainly, granted, it's not a surprise to me. That was in the Ravens' plans. And look, if he's not going to be available for week 1, could be for week 2, might even move him to week 3 if they have to, but it's not an option. And I feel like, and here's the thing, right? Bringing up week 3 might not even be a possibility because at that point, you would have put him on a 4-week PUP list and then kind of just moved him on that to begin with if you knew that it was going to be the first month of football in jeopardy. So I'm not too concerned with it. I mean, the injury is a concern in itself, but given his availability and with 3 is not electing to put him on any sort of designation there, you got to feel it's a positive news for Isaiah to return to the field sooner rather than later. Looking at the roster, I did get the Ravens, the undrafted. It was Keon Martin was one of them, and Ruben Lowry was the other. So, kudos to those 3 guys making the most of their opportunity, and another surprise too. Did you take a look at the receivers?
I did. Yep,
There's 6.
6 of them.
I'll tell you, Devontae Walker made the team. And I remember he made some plays. I think it was the Cowboys game we were watching a little bit together, and I was like, look out for that guy.
Yeah.
He's making some plays with Cooper Rush on the field, and I was like, he's going to make the team. I knew Wester was a shoot when he made those big plays, but I was like, yeah, I'm very excited to see Walker make the team and get a spot. Yeah, so I think the Ravens got this one right with 6 wides. And again, I told you the top 5 would have been rounded out by Tillon Wallace and Devontae Walker there and LeJontay Wester. It made 6, so we're good there.
Tillon Wallace has definitely there's something about him. I know he's 4th on the depth chart, but there's something about him. There's something special in his game. So I'm happy to see Tillon Wallace still in the mix there. But those 2 guys, Walker and Wester, and I'm going to throw in Ali there as well. I think there was a big emphasis during this training camp on special teams. Special teams definitely lacked in the last couple years, and I think that those guys shown that they can play wide receiver, they can play running back, but on special teams, they can also shine there as well. And if you're a versatile player like that, that helps out a lot, that makes the case for you to make the 53-man roster even more prominent, and that's what those guys did. I think that while we might not see them very often on the field at wide receiver or at running back, those three guys, I think we will see a lot on punt returns and be a part of the special team action, because that's really been something that's lacking. And I think that the Ravens definitely put an emphasis on that this year.
Oh, they definitely did. I feel like they're going to capitalize on it. You're going to see returns on that very quickly.
Yeah, absolutely. So Trenton Simpson, I do want to put a little spotlight on him before we get out of here, because he was the only, I don't want to say veteran, but he was the only starting guy to play against the Commanders at noon last Sunday. And while he did make the team, I don't know if the spot of Trenton Simpson is permanently going to be his as a starter, standing next to Roquan Smith. I'm kind of wondering, with the guys that they have kept at linebacker, if Trenton Simpson's job potentially could be up in the air. We saw he kind of lost it a little bit halfway through last year. So I think some of these guys that are on this 53-man roster as well could easily slip into that spot next to Roquan. Like, Trenton Simpson is not a guarantee to be starting there every single game.
Well, I mean, apart from the superstars, right, there's a guarantee, but, it's always, you got to perform. And if you're not getting the job done and you're not up to snuff, there's always an opportunity for another guy to take it. Let me ask you this. What is it about his play in the preseason, or at least recently, that you've seen that leads you to that sentiment there?
I think that he's definitely putting in the work in this offseason. He's definitely looked like he can be a starter, but I'm just looking at last year. If you look at last year, look at last season, Patrick Queen was let go because they said Trenton Simpson was our guy moving forward. And while he has been under the tutelage of Roquan Smith last year, he lost the job, halfway through. I want to say by the Netflix Christmas game, Trenton Simpson was no longer in that starting spot. So he didn't really earn it back after that. So I think that it's not really his play, but the kind of play behind him, that there's a lot of talent at that spot. And if Trenton Simpson can continue to grow as a player, yeah, it could be his spot. But there are a lot of talented players behind him itching to get that starting spot against next to Roquan Smith. So I don't know if it's anything he's done specifically, but it's definitely the guys behind him going like, we're here too. We can take that spot if you don't want it.
So they're there just like waiting in the wings, licking their chops, waiting for that opportunity. If he slips up, look out behind him. They're looking right over his shoulder. And I get it, right? With any play, you got to be consistent. You got to be sharp. You got to be on your game. And if there's a game where you're not doing it, you're a liability, it'll show. And, I can see where you're going with that from his play last year, tapering off. And then you're kind of seeing like there's no resurgence for 2025. You're kind of like, hey, it's leaving you wanting more. But look, the Ravens believe enough in him to make the final 53, but maybe it's hey, you made it, but you got to show us kind of deal, right? And there could be other players in the mix, and we covered it. The Ravens are very heavily invested in linebacker. They're very deep, and it could be a who's who, on those kind of different packages there. And they're very talented right now and very healthy. I certainly can't wait to see what Mike Green can do in actual real live game action and get him out there and let him roam. So, Mike Green is the guy to look out for there. And I can't wait to see what his rookie year entails, man. I'm so excited.
Now, there's a lot of pundits out there, nationally and locally, saying that this Baltimore Ravens 53-man roster is the best, on paper, team that the Ravens have ever seen. What are your thoughts on that? Because, I mean, I'm looking through this 53-man roster. There's a lot of titans. There's a lot of big hitters. There's a lot of guys on this team that that other teams would be just absolutely ecstatic to have. And this team just looks so incredibly important, and it looks like there's no weak spot here. What do you think? Is this the best team that the Ravens have put together so far in their history?
That's a crazy question considering some of the greats that we've had here, right? But we're talking about whole roster, like top to bottom. Like, we get it. The 2012, they had Bolden on offense, and they had Ray Rice and Flacco, and then we've had Pitta. Then on defense, they had Ray, Suggs, Reed. We get it. They had big playmakers, Paul Kruger.
Oh, remember Paul Kruger?
Remember Paul Kruger, one of my favorites. Remember him, the maestro in the Super Bowl when he made the sack. I love that guy. Miss him.
Yeah.
And we'll get to a name about in a second because there's a name out there in the roster or left off the roster I wanted to get to that they could bring back. But yeah, I think I'm inclined to agree wholeheartedly, top to bottom. When you look at veterans in the mix of the rookie crop and a mix of the players that they're in a prime. Healthy team on paper right now, standing on the field in week 1, none better in the NFL. If not, they're the best team in the AFC, in my opinion. And I'm not being biased. I don't care. I'm not drinking the purple Kool-Aid. Put them up there. They're better than the Chiefs on paper. And obviously the Chiefs are gonna be about one of their big receivers for at least 6 weeks. They're better. Lamar's coming off an amazing year and what rightfully should have been a third MVP league MVP year in a lot of opinions. They have the better. They have the bet in a division alone. I mean, yeah, you can put Burrow and Chase up there, the best of them, but it seems like the Ravens are unbothered by no matter if Chase or Burrow ball out, the Ravens still come out victorious. The Ravens secondary, the Ravens linebacking core, the Ravens defensive line, pass rushers, receivers, big play Bateman, Flowers, who's very versatile and heavily in the passing game, the running backs, Keaton Mitchell, Justice Hill, Derrick Henry. Lamar is a weapon. He can run it and throw it. He can do whatever. You have a veteran presence of DeAndre Hopkins. You have Roquan Smith roaming in the middle. You got Marlon Humphrey. You got Kyle Hamilton back there. You got Nate Wiggins in the second. You got Malachi Starks. You have Jair Alexander. Like, come on, dude. On paper, this team has no holes. And yeah, you have a rookie kicker. But we believe in Luke. We've seen him do it in the preseason. He's got the jitters. He's missed some kicks, but he's also made some kicks. And hey, you remember, and I had to be put in my place because I forgot, but Justin Tucker was his rookie year and then won the Super Bowl and kicked the game winner to send us to the championship game in Denver. So in double overtime. So got to believe, rookie kicker or not, right now, best roster in football. I put up there with anybody in the NFC and AFC. The whole entire league's on notice. This team should be running over everybody. And yeah, we all predict them. I think I predict them at 12-5. Yeah, they're not going to go undefeated, but the Ravens, if not, should be. I mean, they're probably not going to be favored in Buffalo or in Kansas City, but if not, they should be favored in every single game they play. So I have no issues with this roster. It was said before, this is the best roster ever assembled under Lamar and under John Harbaugh. This is now or never. If you can't do it with this squad, I don't think anything's going to happen. Got to do it. They got to. There's no excuses now. Go do it.
Yeah.
Go get us a third one, and go get us a parade in February, and we're going to be right here to cover it every step of the way, man.
That's right. It's going to be a fun one to watch this year. I'm so excited for the upcoming football season. What was the name,
man? It's here.
Who was the name of somebody that you miss?
One of my favorites, Brent Urban.
He's practice squad guy. He's
still
in the building.
Guy, so I said he could be invited up to the 53, but he didn't make the squad. But practice squad still on the squad, just the other squad, the practice squad. Try to say that 5 times fast. I don't even know how I even come up with that. Yeah, no, I mean, like, look, he's a favorite of mine. I always love his antics on the sidelines and Wired, and he's always got some great things to say. But hey, who knows? Maybe we'll find a spot for him, and maybe who knows? If anybody slips up and there's an opportunity for him to get in the 53, they're going to pull him right up.
That's right. So before we get out of here, let's talk a little bit about NFL news. So the architect, the world heavyweight champion of the WWE, Seth freaking Rollins, announced on his Instagram that he will. He does.
Oh,
he says he loves football.
I can't wait.
But
can't wait to that first week 1 when they lose the Vikings. I hate football.
So he is joining Good Morning Football for this entire NFL season. He says, I'm indulging in my fever dream here, but I'm officially joining GMFB on the NFL Network for the upcoming 2025-26 season, and I couldn't be more hyped. Can't wait to get started. I love football. So we're going to be seeing more of the architect, the leader of the vision, on GMFB. I don't know if it's every morning, if it's just on Mondays or Tuesdays or what. Guy's going to be busy touring around with the WWE and then going to LA and being an analyst on GMFB every morning and GMFB OT on the Roku channel. But Seth freaking Rollins joining GMFB. Pretty cool.
And I freaking love it. And on top of him being a father, I don't know how that's crazy. I actually didn't know that news till you broke it, so thank you for breaking it for one, too. I'm excited. I don't know if I can't foresee a current WWE superstar of his caliber being on TV every single day. I'm bittersweet about it because you're seeing the transition of these WWE superstars that we all know and love, and then they transition to media, transition to TV, television, movies, and it's like, then you know what comes with that. Their work in the business kind of weans off. So it's like, it's bittersweet because The Rock did it. Now Cena did it. Now Seth does it. Now obviously, I don't think about Stone Cold in that realm, but Stone Cold kind of did this like after the fact. He did all the movie appearances and all that after the fact he was done. It's just bittersweet, man, because it's like, I don't know if it's every day, but I'll certainly be watching out for Seth freaking Rollins and his analysis, and especially when the Bears lose in his I Hate Football post, because I absolutely love it. I was there. I have to go back and see his like live, like I still call it tweeting. I don't know what posting or whatever of the Hail Mary against the Commanders last year, because I'm sure like they had it in the bag and then like they didn't. And then apparently the Bears had a 4-2 record at that point, or could have been either they were 4-2, could have been 5-2, or they were going to be 4-2, and then ever since then, like their season unraveled after that failed Hail Mary,
Lost 10 in
or
a
at
row.
least defending it, I should say, in the successful Hail Mary attempt with Jaden Daniels and Commanders. And it kind of like took both franchises went the opposite way. Kind of Commanders took off, and then the Bears just fell flat on their face. And the Bears are one of the Ravens' home opponents this year, which by chance, the tailgate's going to be popping off. A Bears fan legend, Jim Belushi, will be president of the tailgate this year for the Bears games.
I saw that.
Yeah,
Jim
that's gonna be
Belushi.
fantastic, man. Yeah, that my buddy Anthony was like, he goes, what's Jim Belushi got to do with us? He's a Bears fan. He goes, I didn't know that. I'm like, I wonder if most people don't know that. I just know from his time in television, he's always been about that. He's a Bears fan, just like Seth Rollins is a Bears fan. Hey, John, if you're listening, is there any way to get Seth freaking Rollins at the tailgate? He's a Bears fan. Come on. That'd be awesome.
That would be one.
That would be awesome as well, to get a couple, not only Jim Belushi, but get another big Bears fan in the house. But hey, John always pulls all the stops, and the tailgate's going to be popping off this year as usual. Got a great lineup, and the party always starts there before the games. It's awesome. So, yeah, I can't wait, man. Next week, me and you get to preview the Bills, and it's finally here, and I'm so excited. Can't wait, man.
Crazy stuff, Ben. Hey,
Sure.
it'd be really fun. It'd be really cool if Seth Rollins brings on Braun Breaker onto GMFB, because he can tell us stories of his time as a Baltimore Raven. It was short-lived. It was only for a couple weeks during training camp, but he was an undrafted guy, and he became a Baltimore Raven, and didn't work out here as a fullback, so he moved on to the world of wrestling, and he's just been lighting the world on fire as Braun Breaker in the WWE. So I'd love for a former Raven to pop up on GMFB one morning. So that'd be a lot of fun to see.
Oh, that would be. And
yeah,
I feel like a lot of wrestlers in that business, they come up through that ranks. Think about the guy that just welcomed back, Brock Lesnar, of a surprise, and you were there in person to see it. He used to be a Minnesota Viking. We know Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. We know his background being in University of Miami, and big in the football. And a lot of these guys, football was their first career, and then it didn't pan out, so they found another career in wrestling entertainment. So good for them to kind of keep it going and keep their athleticism and do something good with that. So if it wasn't on the football field, it's hard to break into the business, as you see, even with this guy's athletic as that. But they're using their talents for our entertainment, and it's awesome that they can make a living out of it as well. So look, that'd be pretty cool. But yeah, Braun Breaker certainly making a case for himself.
that's right. So Josh, have we covered everything for this episode of The Call?
With darkness there, nothing more, and Matt Black jersey on too. Quote the Raven, nevermore.
All right, everybody. Well, if you would like to continue the conversation with Josh or I, you can. We are both on social media. You can follow me on X and Blue Sky at Brando Cash. Josh, where can people follow you at?
At AJ_Murr.
We are on Facebook, facebook.com/The Call Podcast. Like us over there. Whenever a new show comes out, you'll be the first to know. We are also on Instagram. You can check us out as Brando Cash Pods _reels. You can check us out on YouTube and Twitch as well, Brando Cash Pods. So make sure you are social with the show. Write us an Apple Podcast review. Rate us over on Spotify. Let people know. Say, I'm a Baltimore Ravens fan. I listen to The Call, and you should too. So that is pretty much it for the show this week. We're getting ready. We are just a little bit more away. We got one more show until we actually get to see the Ravens and the Bills, but we've got our 53-man roster set. So, Josh, take us out the way you always do.
You betcha, Brandon. And the Ravens got their 53, and we got our duo right here on The Call. Brandon and Josh always bringing the pain, bringing the news, bringing everything Ravens. I can't wait, Brandon. This is going to be awesome. Ravens-Bills rematch of last year, Sunday Night Football, getting after it. Really can't wait. I can't wait to see the debut of everybody. Can't wait to see the Ravens come out of gate. And on the same very field that the season ended, they're to begin for the second straight year against the same team that ended it. And they're going right back up to Buffalo. Mouse just stayed up there for the last year and just got reacclimated to it. But, hey, we're back. It's not going to be as cold, so there's no excuses this time. It's warm. It's Buffalo. It's not going to be windy and cold and all that jazz and snowy. It's September up in Buffalo. Ravens couldn't go up there at a better time, and let's go up and get them. Brandon, I can't wait to break it down with you, and I can't wait to break it down with each and every single one of you and getting hype for and leading all the festivities of game day week and the NFL kickoff. There's a lot to be had, and the Ravens are second to the last game of that weekend. They are Sunday Night Football, so we get to enjoy Thursday Night Football opener and then enjoy all day the spoils of all-day football, and then we get to wait all day for Sunday night, as Karen would always love to sing to us. And Ravens get the first big primetime game out of the gate, apart from Thursday night opener. So that being said, next week, it's going to be game week, game day week. Break it all down. Legends never die. Baltimore Ravens, let's fly high.